My friends, in the last couple of weeks, we have gone back and we have analyzed TheOdd1sOut and looked at his biggest and most iconic videos ever. And what I was saying was that these videos have so many views, it's almost like I can't be a person who looks at animations on YouTube and not have seen these. These are essential viewing. And there are a few left that we have not checked out, but they both have almost 100 million views. And so we have to check them out. It's literally not an option. That, and I spent a day last week making a theme song for this series, so you know it's not gonna end right there. So my friends, today we are going through some of the biggest and most important Odd1sOut videos ever. Wrong numbers. I promise I have not seen this video before. I don't know why it gave me the red bar. I haven't seen it. I hate when YouTube does that. And the spiders and the bees. 94 mil. Sheesh. So my friends, let's check out these classics. And you know what time it is. RobertIDK, TheOdd1sOut theme song.
Sometimes I feel like the odd one out, like no one knows what I'm talking about. So I just go and take a trip to Sooubway. Some things may keep me awake at night. Board games, my awful roommates and life. So I'll recline and go online, and with the odd ones out, I'll laugh a million times.
Here we go. Starting with wrong numbers. Hello?
Hello? Okay. It's for you, James.
What?
Hey, James. This is James from the future. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know that puberty can be tough, but you can get through it. So I just wanted to let you know that everything's going to be okay, and I love you. You got the wrong number.
I was wondering if that's what he was gonna do. The way he was drawing it out, no pun intended, the baby getting ready to speak back, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be James' man voice. Also, now that makes more sense that James as an adult was calling his younger self. If you can go back and speak to yourself as a baby, you literally can't teach it anything. It's too dumb to process anything that you're saying. You can't teach your past self life lessons until they're like at least 5. Otherwise, you just can't do it. That's such a funny concept. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's keep it going.
You got the wrong number.
Bruh.
I grew up in a generation where smartphones were a new thing and everyone in my class had one, except for me.
Oh.
My parents never got me one because they didn't want me to access the internet on a device that could fit in my pocket, because they were super strict and didn't want me looking at internet stuff, which backfired horribly.
He looked at some internet stuff. All right.
So they never gave me a smartphone. In fact, I didn't even get my first cell phone until I was 16 years old. Now, as an adult who uses a cell phone every day, I don't know how I survived for 16 years without one. I think when I was younger, if I was ever in a situation where I needed to call my parents, I would just ask the nearest person if I could borrow their phone.
I already have so much to say. I don't want to pause this too much at the start, but I'm all ready to just spew words at you guys. These videos have so much packed into them. The whole time I'm watching, I am stopping myself from stopping the video and saying things. Anyways, I need to say things. I don't believe in kids having smartphones if they're too young, but by 16, it's like, at this point, it's just like a common safety practice to have a phone on you, right? That was the original reason that kids or anyone young would get a cell phone. And then they added texting when I was like 7 and didn't have a phone. Texting became a thing while I was growing up. Just so you guys know, in case any of the younger viewers want to start thinking I'm old. But anyway, 16, I mean, you must not do anything too dangerous then.
Now, if there's any parents watching this who haven't given their children a cell phone yet, take it from a guy on the internet with no children. You should get them one. It doesn't have to be a smart one. You can just give them your standard drug dealer phone.
Okay.
You should at least give them a cell phone in case there's an emergency and they need to call you or the police. The only downside I can think of giving your child a phone is they'll end up spending too much time on it. So you should just turn off their service from time to time. I don't know. When I turned 16,
What was that girl's name? The youngest flexer. Who was it? Oh, Lil Tay.
You already know what it is. Lil Tay, the youngest flexer of the century. I'm only 9 years old, but I'm richer than all y'all broke haters.
Okay. We're not gonna get too into that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this person was given like scripts by like their older brother or something, and their older brother like created that character. I could be completely wrong, but James is saying don't give your kids too much access or they'll turn out like that. Probably not likely.
When I turned 16 and finished up my sophomore year of high school, I got my very first cell phone. An LG Cosmos 2.
That's so close to what I
didn't grow
had.
up in the 90s. Everyone else had iPhones, but I was the only one with a phone that had a keyboard
At
on
that
it.
point,
And with
yeah.
that cell phone, I've had a couple of incidences where sometimes a random person would call me thinking I was someone else and then wouldn't admit they're wrong. And that's how you segue into the theme of this month's video.
I'm all for having more primitive cell phones that aren't as distracting. But yeah, no, James, by the time you were 16, I think James is like a year younger than me. Okay, James is slightly younger than me. So yeah, by that point in time, actually, I guess not everyone had an iPhone at that point. I was still using a BlackBerry until my second year of university. I think that's when I got my iPhone 5S, something like that. Did I have a 4? What did I have? I don't even remember. I think it might have been an iPhone 4. Guys, I'm not old, okay? I just have a good memory. But this was my phone. It was the LG Neon. It was so cool at the time. And it was so cool back in the day when everyone's phone looked different because we had buttons and stuff. That was so fun.
Some of y'all will never understand.
This first story happened when I was working at Sooubway. That's right, another Sooubway story. Hashtag Sooubway 4. It wasn't good enough to be in the other 3. So, it was 5 minutes until closing, and we get a phone call on the Sooubway phone. I pick it up and say, thank you for calling Sooubway. How may I help you? I was supposed to say, this is James. How may I help you?
Oh, no.
But I wasn't about to tell this random stranger my name.
Fair.
Idiot. Anyway, the other person on the line said, hey, what time do you guys close? In 5 minutes. Is it all right if I show up late? I just need gas. And being the good employee that I was.
No, James, y'all can pretend oh, I'm just a good employee. Not, this person is driving to me right now. I better not have them come angry. Yeah, no, James, it was because you were a good employee. It wasn't because of that. Sure.
And being the good employee that I was totally willing to make this guy's sandwich over the phone, let him pick it up after we closed, and then I wouldn't ring him up and just pocket the money. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That's a crime. Please don't sue me. So I said, yeah, I can do that. What kind of sandwich do you want? And he said, I just need gas. Oh, don't worry, sir. This sandwich will give you plenty of gas.
Oh no, that got me. That really got me. He's trying to call a gas station. That's so funny. I have no intellectual commentary for that part. That was just really funny.
I just need gas. Oh, don't worry, sir. This sandwich will give you plenty of gas. I mean, do you want chips or something? No, he said. I just need gas. I was a little confused. Okay, yes. So you'll get gas, then are you gonna stop by and pick up a sandwich? And he said, I don't want a sandwich. And then it hit me. Even though the first thing I ever said to this guy was, thank you for calling Sooubway, I think he thought he was talking to a gas station.
He thought he was talking to a gas station, of course. Sometimes I just pull up at the gas station, not to get gas, but to just talk. That station knows some things that I don't, and I'm here to get information. That is amazing. I guess when we call companies, we just tune out the whole, yeah, thank you for calling, blah, 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 blah. How may I help you today? I feel like we're so used to hearing the last part, maybe we just tune it out sometimes, and we think we're calling a gas station when we're really calling James.
So I said, sir, this is a Sooubway? Oh. And I never got the chance to tell him that gas pumps don't close. This next story happened when I was at home and I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Now, I've had friends tell me that they don't answer the phone to any number they don't recognize, but my anxiety won't let me do that. What if it's your bank calling saying your account got hacked?
Ooh.
What if it's your grandma? Because why would you have her saved in your phone? Or what if it's your Nigerian uncle who wants to give you his collection of gold bars and needs your information for a wire transfer?
Okay, that's the most likely situation. See, I would have thought if you had anxiety, you would avoid unknown callers. This always fascinates me how people's anxiety, like everyone's anxiety story is different, you know? Because no caller ID gives me anxiety, so I don't answer it. No caller ID gives James anxiety because he doesn't want to miss it. That is so interesting to me. Sorry, I'll try not to get too spiritual this far in.
You just never know, so I always pick up the phone. So I answered it, and it was this woman asking for a Lawrence. And I said, oh, I'm not, you have the wrong number. And she goes, isn't this 416295? That's obviously not a real number, so don't try calling it.
Okay, but real quick, 416 was actually in my area code when I lived in Toronto. When I grew up, growing up, the whole growing up thing that I did in Canada most of my life, 416 was our area code. So anyways, that's a wacky coincidence. That's kind of cool. That's part of the reason why we call it the 6, or Drake does, I guess.
And I said, no, this is 416293, because that's my phone number. Again, that's not actually a valid phone number.
Okay, I got it.
And she goes, 3? I don't think I pressed 3.
No way.
And I don't know what to say to this woman, because my number is 416293. It's really not. But she doesn't think she pushed 3, so I don't know how she's talking to me right now. Unless she did. So I said, well, obviously,
you did.
You did.
Yo, that comedic timing was mind-blowing. That was 10 out of 10 comedic timing.
That was wonderful.
This next story happened not too long ago. I got a call from a number I didn't recognize at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, scary.
And I was lying in my bed, asleep. And most people would agree that you're supposed to be awake and productive at 9:30. And I didn't want whoever this stranger was thinking I'm lazy, so I had to answer the phone with my best, I've been awake for several hours voice.
Hi.
Hello?
You're going to have to come quickly! Timmy fell down the well, Vance!
What?
I said you're going to have to come quickly because Timmy fell down the well, Vance!
I could tell it was a woman on the phone, but it was either her accent or the phone being buggy or I just had woken up, but I could not understand anything she was saying.
Shout out Jacksepticeye. I recognize that voice anywhere. We go way back, me and Jack. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't going to say anything about James's wake up time, but then he said it for me. But here's the thing. At that age, you can wake up a bit later, I think. On my summers home from university, like when I was 19, 20, 21, I would wake up at like 10 and that was like normal to me. That's so weird to think. I am like a grown man now. I go to bed now at like 11, sometimes even 10:30. A big part of that is because of my health issues that I've had. I'm doing everything health-wise, like by the books, slaying it. But I will say, my old sleeping habits as a 19, 20, 21-year-old do make me curl up inside.
But I could make out one word, which was Vance.
Vance.
So,
man, I think it's all the laughing I do. My voice has been cracking lately.
but I could make out one word, which was Vance.
Vance.
So, I did not have a lot to go off of. I said, I think you have the wrong number. Okay, goodbye.
You gotta come quickly because Timmy fell down.
Well, I should probably get the day started, I thought as I went back to
Vance.
sleep. But then immediately I got a call from the same number.
no.
And I thought, okay, maybe if this person is calling again, even after I explicitly told her she had the wrong number, maybe it's not a wrong number after all. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe it's an emergency, so maybe, talk to me.
Vance.
Oh, true.
Okay. I can't understand anything you're saying. So then this woman must have handed the phone to her friend because a different voice started talking, and I could actually understand her, and I'll never forget what she said, which was,
Vance, no one thinks
that you're funny. even though I'm not Vance, that kinda hurt.
Oh my gosh. Yo, this might be my favorite Odd Ones Out video yet. This is so funny.
This is so funny.
This is so funny. The comedic timing, the realness, so good. I'm trying to think if I've ever been in that situation before. Obviously, I've, over the years, had plenty of people say negative, mean things to me from a distance, because obviously that just happens at some point, no matter who you are on YouTube. But I don't think there's ever been a time where someone directed a mean comment at someone else, and it accidentally went to me, and I felt bad. I'll have to get back to you guys on this one. I've read literally millions of comments over the years. Literally millions of comments. There's been some weird things, which this feels like a good time to plug my video. I wrote a song using 1 million YouTube comments. If you actually haven't seen this video, this may be the best video I've made in the last year. I spent about 3 weeks to maybe a whole month working on this video. So if you're watching this channel right now and you haven't seen this video, I'm gonna put the link at the end of this video because you need to see it. That is essential viewing on RobertIDK.
So I stated the obvious, which was, yes, I am. And also, I'm not Vance. And she said, no, Lance. So this whole time, these two have been looking for a Lance. So I told this woman,
I'm not Lance
I'm
either.
not Lance either. And she said,
Well, this is the number they gave me.
Oh,
okay,
no.
if she had said it like, oh, I'm sorry, this is the number they gave me. I didn't mean to call you, stranger. Also, I do think you're funny and enjoy your videos. Then that would have been totally fine.
Yeah, getting angry at this wrong number. Well, this is the number they give. I'm not involved. I'm not involved in any of this. Please, woman, leave me out of this. I don't need this. That has happened to me as well.
She's just shifting the blame to someone else. But instead, she sounded so condescending, like I was wasting her time. Well, this is the number they gave me, and they can't be wrong, so you must be the real Lance. So I said,
No,
well, they must have given it to you wrong. Look, I'm too tired to be polite. But then she hung up on me. What? Like this woman just basically called a random person, said, you're not funny, and then hung up.
I am glad that this person is not in my life because they seem awful. There were 3 levels of disrespect in that simple phone call. 1,
That
you're funny. 2, well, this is the number they gave me. Being disrespectful to this person who is no part of it. And then 3, no, just kidding. I'm gonna put the other finger down. And then 3, 1, whatever. They just hung up as soon as they found this information out. They didn't say, okay, bye, or okay, sorry. Anything they could have quickly said. This person seems awful. And I am so glad that was a wrong number, James. Consider yourself very lucky.
So I decided to call her back and said, hey, I just found the real Lance. He's the funniest guy I ever met, and he told me he doesn't give his phone number out to rude pieces of Just kidding on the last part. I thought about doing it, but then I went back to sleep.
Oh my
I didn't do
gosh.
it. And then someone on the internet found my phone number, and I changed it. And whoever has my old number is probably getting a lot of calls from strangers and people I went to high school with. Sorry about that.
What an absolute slapper. What an absolute slapper that was. Before we move on to the next video, I want to say this is really awesome. And if you're watching this video and for whatever reason you're crazy enough to not be subscribed to James, he clearly has worked so hard on these videos and he deserves your support. Obviously, his link is in the description and I'm gonna put it at the end of this video, but yeah, please make sure you are showing appreciation to the real guy. Even though, you know, obviously this has almost 100 million views, he's definitely being appreciated. But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. That was honestly maybe my favorite video of his yet.
Sensational.
And so, I'm very excited because this one is from the same era.
The spiders and the bees.
I don't know if this is going to be like the birds and the bees or something completely different. I have no idea, but I cannot wait. So people, are you ready? Let's get into it. 3, 2, 1.
Mommy, why do humans hate us?
Aww.
I
I don't know, Matthew. Our species is completely harmless to them, and we keep the mosquito population down, who are responsible for killing more humans every year than other humans do.
So humans have
way.
no rational reason
No
to fear
way.
us, but they still do?
I'm afraid humans aren't that smart, Matthew. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed humans bite.
Love you, Mommy.
I love you too, Matthew.
No! No!
I think the hate that's
Okay, I thought that was about to be lights out for mommy. That scared me. Okay, a lot to process. Okay, after thinking about it for more than 5 seconds, I was like, okay, do mosquitoes end more humans than other humans do? I guess as a North American person, I'm very privileged to say that that doesn't sound right, but maybe that is right, because yeah, if we're talking like the jungles in Africa and stuff like that, that's definitely a different story. But is that true? That would be crazy. What a stat. I am fascinated by that. Also, why are humans afraid of spiders? It's literally programmed into our DNA. We didn't choose this. We would love spiders. Any spiders watching this video, we would love to not be afraid of you. The problem is it's literally programmed into our DNA because yes, some of you guys are very harmful. Too many humans lived in Australia that our evolutionary DNA made us afraid of all spiders, okay?
I think the hate that spiders get is a tad bit undeserved. Okay, fine, if you're in the shower and you see a spider crawling up your leg like a freaking pervert, then that's an appropriate time to freak out.
No,
but other than that,
be careful,
spiders are
don't
most
fall.
likely not going to hurt you. Their webs are too weak to trap you, they don't know how to open doors, and there's only like a 50% chance that they're venomous. Okay, but for real, unless you live in Australia, the chances of you dying by a spider bite is pretty low. There are venomous spiders, yes, and if you're having a negative reaction to a spider bite, then you should get treatment, but a large percentage of spiders are harmless.
Wait, so is this whole video actually gonna be about spiders? I genuinely was like, the spiders and the bees, is that like the birds and the bees? I did not expect to be this far into the video and just getting straight spider facts. That was not what I intended, but it's amazing.
Even the black widow, known as the most venomous spider in North America, won't kill you if you're a healthy adult. Their bite will be painful for a
good.
couple of days, sure, but like, you'll walk it off.
That was a joke. If you get bitten by a black widow spider, then don't walk it off. Go see a doctor.
And hey, if you're lucky enough, you'll get superpowers. So wait, the two most dangerous spiders in North America are the brown recluse and the black widow? What are you trying to say about dangerous colors, America? Oh wait, the great white shark's even more dangerous. Never mind.
Ah, yes! Yes, I'm so glad I waited that joke out until the end. A bit of an edgy joke, James. I think you're making some assumptions about who named these creatures, but that was pretty good.
Technically, sharks are like the second least dangerous animal out there besides puppies, because like, they don't want to eat humans. I mean, like, if you had to fight a spider and a shark, this shark would win. Also, spiders kill pests. According to this comic I made in 2014 and this National Geographic article, a single spider can eat about 2,000 insects a year. So if you're not a fan of flies, moths, or mosquitoes, which incidentally kill 600,000 people a year, then you're on Team Spider, because they're also not fans of them. Well, they are fans of them, but they are fans because they eat them. I'm not saying you have to be roommates with arachnids. I'm just saying that if you see a spider, don't put it through torture continuously smashing it with a blunt object. It's still moving, it's still moving.
Kill.
Oh my gosh, morbid. James, you morbid man. You didn't need to give us that last view.
Instead, get a cup and carefully place it over a spider. They're really dumb, so doing this will be super easy. Then scoop up your new best friend with a piece of paper and yeet it back into the wild with the rest of God's glorious creatures. Yeah, actually, there's a high chance that they won't make it being thrown into a completely different environment. But they should have thought of that before they decided to live in my house.
Exactly. That's my thing. Is like in the wild, I don't care about spiders at all. But when they're in your house, it's a completely different story. That's the problem, spiders. If there are any spiders watching this, that's the problem. You come in our house. Don't come in our house. If you stay outside, we're all good. We're all good. Just don't come inside, bro.
Even though a spider has 8 eyes, they have terrible eyesight. So that spider that landed on your face did not do it intentionally. Some spiders that live in caves are completely blind. They don't even have 1 eye.
Wow.
But even if they did have eyes, their whole world would still be pitch black. What a sad life to be a part of. Just every time you're outside seeing the sun, just think that somewhere there's a colony of spiders just in pure blackness, just never seeing the sun, never seeing their children smile or graduate college. They're just sitting in a cave for all their life. So is nature, and that is the way the cookie crumbles.
Wow. I don't know if I've thought about that. Yeah, there are spiders and things that live in caves that go their entire life never seeing anything. Like, it's not even a concept for them. Not that spiders can understand concepts, but you know what I mean. That is really cool. Also, James, you know too much about spiders. I didn't know this would all be about spiders. 94 million people watched a cartoon about spiders. That's pretty legendary.
Also, we're forgetting the most amazing thing about spiders, which is that they're incredibly talented in web design. Proportionately, the silk that makes up a spider web is stronger than the fibers that make up a bulletproof vest.
Whoa.
So next time you go to a gunfight, put on a spider web instead. The amazing thing about spider webs is that not only can they save Wilbur from being slaughtered, but it's just stupid incredible that something so small can make such an intricate shape from nothing but the material inside their own bodies.
Yeah.
The golden silk orb weaver spider has too many middle names and has enough silk inside of them to make 3 full spider webs.
Oh my gosh.
And it's this guy's job to pin that spider down and pull out all of its silk like some kind of spider predator.
Chill.
It's okay though. The documentary said he was just harmlessly immobilizing the spiders.
Chill.
I can't believe this is someone's job. I don't think telling people I'm a YouTuber is that bad anymore. So, what do you do for a living? I harmlessly immobilize spiders with thumbtacks and pull silk out of their abdomen to add to my ever-increasing collection. What about you? Oh, I, make YouTube videos. I see people with arachnophobia being irrationally afraid of these harmless little guys, and I just don't see the sense of fearing something that ultimately does good things for the ecosystem.
Aww.
But you know what we should be afraid of? Bees! Bees are terrifying!
Oh my gosh. James, that is a privilege, honestly. Not being afraid of spiders, to me, I feel like it's just like a genetic roll of the dice. I feel like some people just aren't afraid of insects, and a lot are. I think, honestly, unless you can tell me that you used to be afraid of spiders and you totally trained it out of you and you never are afraid of spiders, then, you know, cool, good job. But it's not easy to turn off a phobia.
Look, they're sucking the blood out of this guy to make honey! Oh, they're dying at an alarming rate? Good! Okay, that was a joke.
Oh my gosh.
Bees are, without a doubt, the most important insect on this planet. Not only do they have the best work ethic of any living thing on Earth, which is why none of them are YouTubers, they also pollinate 30% of the world's crops. Don't ask me who pollinates the rest, because I don't know. Without bees, humanity would turn to pure anarchy. Bees are so important that world-famous comedian Jerry Seinfeld made a documentary about the life of a bee and what the world would be like without them. But ever since 2006, bees, just like all the memes say, have been dying at an alarming rate. The scary thing is that scientists don't know exactly the reason for this bee-apocalypse. But they think it has to do with new pesticides being used on farms, parasites that kill the bee, and global warming. So once we figure out how to fix those 3 problems, we'll be in good shape. It's just a little bee pun. We like to have fun around here.
Relatable. Man, I was never afraid of the bee thing. I've heard certain people say things about bees and the bees passing and stuff, but I've never really thought about, because it's one of those things that I literally in my life have absolutely zero control over. But when you put it like that, James, you're scaring me, bro. Don't scare me, please. I didn't want to have a spooky video. I wanted to have a fun video.
Now, what can you, a concerned citizen, do to stop the dropping population of bees? Most likely nothing, because I don't think anyone watching this makes laws about pesticides or stopping global warming. So we just gotta sit back and hope the people who make those laws know the importance of bees. But maybe you should plant a couple flowers just to be on the safe side. The reason I have a fear of bees is that I've gotten stung by a bee not 3 times, not 4 times, but 2 times. Two times.
Okay.
Now, obviously, as I've grown, I see the importance of bees, and I know not to throw rocks at them. The first time I got stung, I was outside, and I guess I was playing too close to a beehive, because I got stung on my arm, and I cried a lot. The second time, I was in my backyard, barefoot, and I was walking around, and you know how sometimes when you're about to do something and your brain realizes that you're about to make a mistake, but your body is already committed to the motion and you don't have enough time to stop yourself? So I was in the middle of taking a step and I saw that I was about to step on a bee, but my body didn't have the reaction time or the motor skills to avoid the step, and... I'm sure the bee was just acting in self-defense, but man, that scarred me.
Oh no. True, I guess bees, in a sense, in terms of the actual danger for, I guess, at least North Americans and Europeans, bees are a much bigger threat to us than spiders are. I mean, maybe less so bees and more so like wasps and hornets. Should be a much bigger concern, but for some reason, biologically, we aren't as concerned about them. Is there a thing here where bees weren't in our lives ancestrally, and bees have only come up recently, and they're gonna go away just as quickly? I know this is an incredibly abstract thought that is gonna get no answers from this video, but why is it that we are biologically programmed to fear spiders? Or maybe I'm just crazy and I'm not afraid of bees. Most of us aren't afraid of bees and wasps, right? As adults. It's like, yeah, if one's like buzzing around you, you get out of there, but it's not as scary as a spider, like, am I crazy?
Absolutely.
Cameron, please don't answer that for me.
Some people may have an allergic reaction to bee stings and they should go to a hospital if they get stung, but in my case, it just hurt a lot, and my mom put baking soda over where I got stung, and I cried. When people found out I was afraid of bees, they would always tell me that bees are docile creatures and they only sting you if they feel threatened. They would say the same thing about spiders too, by the way. So whenever I would see a bee, I would silently freak out and stay as still as a rock, cause unlike spiders, with bees, you're not allowed to fight back. You'll both lose if that happens. I gotta show this bee how unthreatening I am. They should be able to just take a look at me and know that.
That's so funny. Like any other tiny insect, you can swat that thing away. But with a bee or a hornet, you can't. If you swat them away, you're gonna pay, okay? Very good point.
But then when a bee lands on your arm, holy frick, that's true fear. You just have to quietly watch the bee, hoping it didn't just have a bad day and decide to end its life on you. That never happened though. Ever since I took a more calm approach to bees, I've never been stung. And I've never been bitten by a spider either. Wasps though, they're just mean. They can pack up and leave for all I care. I don't give a crap about wasps.
Jeez.
So, what did we learn?
A few things.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video.
Give yourself some credit, James. I did learn, I learned a decent amount. I guess I didn't learn too many facts. A few facts, but it was incredibly no, there's nothing there. Entertaining. And if you don't want this to end, here's the entire playlist of the Odd Ones Out videos that we have done so far. If there's any of these videos that you haven't seen yet, make sure you are caught up and have checked them out. Here is James's channel. Make sure you are supporting him. It's essential. And here's the music video I talked about earlier in the video. You should definitely check it out. You guys have a lot of stuff to watch, so enjoy. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. Peace.